At 11:30 a.m. today, do you know where the mayor of New York City is going to be? It's pretty good. He's going to be at Citi Field. Do you know why? Because Steve Cohen gave $1.5 million to his election campaign. Do you think Steve Cohen was ever worried about the vaccination mandate? A lot of talk. Aaron Judge may not be able to play home games. A lot of Yankees. Anthony Rizzo, new free agent signed. You think the Yankees would sign Anthony Rizzo to a $16 million deal? Really, it's $32 million, but he has an opt-out. When they didn't know whether he was going to play half his games? Are you kidding me? There was a lot of public talk by Hal Steinbrenner. We're not going to talk about it. We've got Randy Levine taking care of it. Major League Baseball not commenting. We are working closely with the politicians in New York to try to make sure that every player can play, but we're all about the safety. I'm not here to opine on whether or not the vax mandate should be in place. The mandate says it's why Kyrie Irving hasn't played a home game yet or in the Garden. Any business privately owned in New York City, every employee must be vaccinated. Period. Not people who come visit the office and have a meeting with your company, but employees of the company have to be vaccinated. Kyrie Irving isn't. By the way, that can't be right either, because Kyrie Irving couldn't play in the Garden and he was visiting. He was the visitor. It's very strange to me. Anyway, doesn't much matter. But Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, Hal Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, never had a question that the vaccine mandate was going to be lifted. Just last Wednesday, 8 days ago, the mayor said the following: baseball season is not tomorrow. It's not next week. We're going to work this out where we will ensure the safety of New Yorkers without continuing the spread of COVID. I'm looking forward to speaking with Major League Baseball as we put our heads together. What he meant to say here, and this got eliminated because you don't see it in his quote. I'm looking forward to speaking with Major League Baseball as they put their wallets together with our medical team and figure out how we come to a solution here. I'm thinking about $1.5 million, maybe $2.5 million, maybe some quiet donations to the PAC for a re-election. Everyone's focused on the sports area. They're focusing on one person, Kyrie Irving. No. I'm focusing on 9 million people, the mayor said. I'm not looking at one person. I'm looking at my city not closing down again. Let me just give you a little nugget here, folks. There is no scenario under which New York City closes again. I think it's fair to say that the lockdown did not work in the way we all anticipated it would have. It was the right decision at the time it happened and the time it was instituted. I agreed with it, but you can't look back on it and say, wow, that did the job. There's a whole nother strain of COVID coming to the United States. There's going to be an uptick in cases in the next 2 weeks, but we just move on. Get yourself tested. If you're sick, don't go to work. But having players not able to play outdoors, it's absurd. Having unvaccinated people not able to play on a basketball court, absurd. If you're not vaccinated now, you're just stupid. But that's fine. You still should be able to do your job. The Yankees, the Mets were very clear how this was going to go down. The Nets were very clear how this was going to go down. Kyrie Irving was always going to play playoff games. Aaron Judge was not going to miss regular season games. It was never going to happen. So what you'll know today is that the mandate's been lifted. All the athletes, all the players will now be eligible for their home games. And all's well in the world. And Steve Cohen only had to pay $1.5 million for that. That's not so bad.